Well, I'm back to do another episode of Friday Pike Day. That's right, this is episode 9, though I've done Pikes Peak a hell of a lot more than that. And today we're going to try a very short wheelbase car. What I want to try to do is aim for at least 1,000 kilowatts, but with massive aero. So that's the thing today. We are going to go absolutely berserk with aero. And hopefully today my audio is better than last So one of the things that is very important for aero is it's actually aero to weight ratio. So we're going to make it as light as possible. This car is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, I would go for a 4-cylinder, but we're going to go for a 6-cylinder. And we're not going to worry about engine damage. We are going to go for complete engine stress as much as is possible. I don't care. We are just going for big power. Wow, this thing really doesn't want to have a big engine. And a 3-liter? All right, let's go over square so then we can try to get as much power as possible out of this beast. Oh, this thing is going to struggle a lot. Magnesium, overhead cans, 5 valves, ALSI, billet lightweight, forged titanium, and quality spam. We are, yes, quality spamming today. Big turbos are going to be on this car. Oh, it seems that we're having problems with our RPMs here. So we're going to down this cam profile a little bit. It's going to reduce our run, but we have 100 to work with. Wait, I just realized the engine here is the length of the engine. So if I go with a 4-cylinder, I might be able to make it a bit bigger. Yes, there we go. Okay, well, it can't be that big. There we go. 5-liter 4-cylinder. Oh my God, that's a V8 size engine. What am I doing? Oh, now it's too wide. Oh, bugger. Well, that's a problem. All right, a 4.2-liter 4-cylinder sounds fine to me. I don't know. There's 400 cc's difference, but I do like the fact that this engine will be considerably lighter. So maybe we'll stick with this for now. And here we have our maximum amount of power that we can have with this car before we reach 100% damage. And we don't want to have 100% damage. And we're going to see whether this is actually a limiting factor as well. Oh God, we literally cannot have more power. And we're only using basically 93 rod. So we can drop this down to a super 95 just for the hell of it. Oh boy, these pistons are not happy. Let's give our new engine a bit of a listen. That is loud. That is very loud. So this is a very heavy engine, actually. It's 192 kilograms, which is not great. That's over 400 pounds. Luckily, we have fairly decent numbers, though. I don't think it's enough power, if I'm honest. For what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to max this thing out on aero. Quality spam. Now, all-wheel drive, dual clutch, probably a 6-speed. Don't need too many gears. We're going to aim for a top speed of about 200-ish kilometers an hour. It doesn't need to be particularly fast. That'll also allow us to make the vehicle a little bit lighter, because when you start getting into higher speeds, the game gives it more rigidity and stuff. So it becomes heavier and more expensive. Electronic LSD, we're gonna put this quite a bit to the rear. Quality spam. Radials, semi-slicks, as big as they go. I just realized I didn't have 2020 selector, so that means I can go for more power. Woo, there we go. We gained about another 40-ish kilowatts. And that means we can go with carbon fiber wheels. Carbon ceramics because they'll be extra light, fully clad. And then let's make this a stiff boy. So our steering speed at slow speeds will allow us to still turn at about 90 kilometers an hour, which is really good. This is the most important graph in pretty much everything in automation, and it's giving us good numbers. All right, to help with our weight distribution a little bit, we actually changed from carbon ceramic to vented discs on the front. Hopefully that will help with a little bit of a balance issue. We have 66 to the rear, and we're pretty much spot on here. Our 0 to 100 is 2.1 seconds, not bad. Now it's time to start getting a little bit radical. I'm gonna go with a flat white paint before we start. God, that looks good in white. All right, let's start designing the massive amount of aero that we're going to have. The engine seems to be in the way a bit. Whatever, it'll have to do. All right, we should now be generating a buttload of downforce. Hopefully also none of it is colliding with the ground. It reckons it'll be stable over 250 kilometers an hour, but what we need to do is make sure that it's going to generate enough downforce at about 200 kilometers an hour, which so far it seems to be doing pretty well, though I do want more. Why is this now saying it's getting oversteer? Though it is happening at over 90 kilometers an hour. That's so weird. What changed? Odd. very odd. We could give it a quick test now and see how it's doing over in BeamNG. Yeah, let's go do that. Give it a quick pre-finish test. Okay, I don't see any ground collisions. Good. The invisible wings seem to be doing quite well, but the one in the middle is a bit problematic. Let's see how our handling goes though. Oh, this thing accelerates so well. Hard turning, but doing well. We might put on a variable wing. Looks like we could do with a little bit more rear downforce? No, front downforce. Yeah, more front downforce. You notice that the front wheels are coming loose. What the hell is that? That has to be an issue with the mod. That can't be right. Let's go for low speed cornering. So it was at about 80 or 90 where this thing started to fall apart in automation. So our car weighs about 200 on the front and 280 on the rear. What does this get at top speed? So now we're getting 470 on the front and 1.2 tons on the rear. That is crazy. That's insane. No way. Oh my god. Oh, the problem is we're not getting enough aero on the front. Oh boy. And let's get another front wing. All right, let's give this one a try. Let's see what the oversteer is like. So what was it, about 90 is where the thing was oversteering? It's still not oversteering for us. So we must be generating plenty of downforce. Now let's just double check the weights again. So at about 200 on the front and about 280 on the rear. Okay, let's go. Yeah, we've only gained about, what, a ton on the front? So we could probably still go more, couldn't we? And this is like hard jerk steering. So this is not the sort of thing that you would be doing on Pikes Peak. Especially since I'm using a controller right now, which is where it's actually possible to do that. Not so much with the steering wheel. Now, this actually takes quite a bit to spin, but it does spin. Oh, it almost rolled over. So, I think we could probably go one more wing on the front. No, actually, no, we're not going to do another wing on the front. We're going to do fatter wheels on the front. What does Test Track reckon we can do? A 144, huh? Give the old fat front tires a try. At full speed, we are not getting a whole lot of oversteer at all. We're still getting a lot of lift off, unfortunately. What about at our 90 kilometers an hour? We are still not oversteering. We're doing quite well. Let's bring up a G meter, see what sort of G's we're pulling here. So at low speeds, where the car should be spinning out here, we're pulling about 1.4 G. What about at a much higher speed? We're pulling at about 3 Gs. I also think we can go more downforce because we're aiming for about a 200 kilometer an hour speed. I think we can go more G's than this. I think we can go a lot more downforce than this. Let's get stupid. We're gonna put 2 more front wings on and 2 more rear. You know what? We're gonna put another front wing on. This is so bad. This is a bad idea. Still reckons my estimated top speed is 285, which I doubt. I doubt very much. This is Generation 1, where we created the ultimate driving car. Generation 2, we thought, let's add more downforce. And it really helped and improved this car. Generation 3, we decided, let's add fatter tires. And then Generation 4, we applied all the dumb. All right, let's give this one a try. All right, first let's see what our top speed is. Okay, we're still actually getting quite a lot of top speed. And our Aero is 1.5 tons on the rear and 600 to 700 on the front. What is oversteer like at this speed? We're still actually quite good for oversteer. What about our tipping point, which should be around the 90-ish kilometers an hour? About 1.8 Gs? Probably could go bigger front tires then. What Gs are we pulling then at high speeds? About a 3.4. I think maybe we did go too much aero. We're gonna remove one of the rear wings, I think. Delete. Okay, good. We should be even now. Let's put on some headlights. Oh, you know what I can do? There's one last thing I can do here to make this car look even better. Whoa, yeah, you know what? We might have to go back and redesign some stuff to make that work, because that looks good. All right, There we go. This car should be completely designed now. So we're going to say that this is based off of a British sports car. So it's going to be called the Brundle and something very British. James. I don't know why, just the Brundle James. That's what we're going with. I really do like the look of this car. And let's go take this over now to BeamNG and see how it does against Pikes Peak. Actually, you know what? Let's give it one last try. 144.11. Oh, it's down to a 141. Oh, that's a tasty. And for those of you playing along at home, we're doing the Devil's Playground short. Oh, I should have called it the Brundle Formula, James. Bugger. So, yeah, let's go ahead and give this a fresh start from the top. Driving position, realistic gearbox, respawn. Let's go. That is a very short gear ratio. Oh my god. There is so much air. Oh god, it still manages to fail there. Okay, this is problematic. Why is it automatically changing gears for me? All right, well, let's give this a try anyway. Oh, shit! Well, it was going fairly well. Oh, God. This one is tricky to get used to, if I'm honest. There's just something not quite right about it. It's almost as if physics actually technically failing here as well. No, again. I get so fast up here in this section compared to what I normally do, and it just throws me, and I make a mistake because it's just so much better grip. Ah, shit. My steering wheel's upset. There's so much steering wheel turning that I just can't figure out which way up is the steering wheel. Oh my god. And finding the gear shifter after a tight hairpin sometimes is a little tricky. Ah, shit! Ah, goddamn ABS. Ugh. Ah, well, I'm now doing the voiceover, so hopefully I fixed this microphone issue that I was having during the video recording part of it. But I eventually got a time put down by this car. Now, this car is really particularly weird in its handling. It has so much grip. The brakes actually feel strangely like magic. So the braking point is so much further down. And once you start braking, at a certain point, the car starts to become a little bit skittish when you're getting slow. But there, it just keeps braking all the way down to how slow you need it to be. It's really amazing. The problem is when you go over a rise, it starts to become problematic in very weird ways. But coming around here, you get so much grip coming out of here that you don't actually get to brake earlier going into this corner here because you've got so much extra speed that you were able to get out of the previous corner. Then coming around here, once again, you've got so much extra speed that you weren't able to do it. But every other, like in a long braking straightaway section, you're able to brake much later. So here, brake, instead brake there. See how much later that is? That's probably about 20 meters shorter. It is frightening how much later you can brake. Though here I did accidentally brake maybe a little too early, but I was able to still get it around quite nicely. The problem is I need to turn up the steering ratio because I'm having to like cross over arms rapidly to get the thing turned around and then like having to find my way to the gear shifter. And by that point, I'm already starting to accelerate and I've gone against the red line for a little bit. And oh yeah, that was a little bit scary. Sometimes this is quite scary. Though there also that braking, I braked super late than what I should have, but it ended up still pulling up in time. And there again, it pulled up in time. This car is amazing. The brakes feel magic. That's the only thing I could use. I just did a oh my god! Oh my god! A 2-minute once! That's basically a 2-minute 2 second. Oh, this is by far not the most powerful car I've had up here. Oh my god, aerodynamics is the way of the future. I have to do something with this in the future. Not this particular car maybe, but oh my god. Oh my god. That is ridiculous. That knocked off almost 16 seconds to second place. Oh, that's right. That's the Charizard. So one that doesn't actually technically count because I didn't do it in a video, but still that one managed to create a record for me. But yeah, the one that out of the ones that do count, oh my god, that's 17 seconds almost. Jesus. Let's go ahead and do a full lap, and we're gonna take this one a little bit easy because stuffing this up is so easy and restarting takes so goddamn long. It's meant to be about a 10-minute lap. Let's give it a try though. Ah, don't worry, after an hour, I finally got a lap down. And at this point, I was nursing this car around because I had crashed for so many different reasons. It wasn't always just on the same area. It was just so unstable, this car. Now, I am able to go through here a full chat. You notice that I do not lift this entire time. Coming up to here, finally you brake for the first time. But then coming around to this corner here, if you're ballsy, you can go through here completely flat, all the way through here. But I was just not willing to take that risk. I needed to finish a lap. I was tired, I was hungry, I was thirsty, and just the sheer instability of this car. Those front wheels that do like the jiggly chatter thing, I am feeling that through the steering wheel anytime that I'm going above, say, 90 kilometers an hour. This thing is scary. Also fun, but scary and incredibly unpredictable. It just beggars belief. But because of that reason, I think if I was to spend maybe a couple of days, like really full hard training this, maybe even a week or two with how unstable this car is, I reckon I probably could have easily knocked off 10 to maybe even 30 seconds of this lap. And also there are a few discrepancies with my lap. This car is just, oh my god, try it out. It's in the description. This car is balls deep the craziest car I think I have ever tried to properly make really good. Now, there was that one car with crazy camber, but we're not going there. We're talking about like proper cars where I've gotten to the point where I said, this is a finished car. If this is the sort of car that somebody was taking up onto Pikes Peak for real, I would call them insane and then have them institutionalize and take away this car and maybe make sure that they attach everything just a little bit better, because it's just, maybe make it like 30 centimeters longer, something like that in the wheelbase, so then it's a little less like randomly, I don't know, because sometimes you just saw it then, the car just won't steer. It'll just decide on its own, hey, you know what? I am not turning anymore. It is so irritating, though I reckon it would be a little bit easier if maybe I turned up the steering sensitivity. It's been a long time since I've done that, so I've forgotten. So I really just didn't want to do it. And as I'm rewatching this and giving you guys commentary, I'm just remembering like, yeah, I crashed there and I've crashed there. Pretty much on average, probably every third corner is a corner I crashed on. So I'm gonna start naming corners I crashed on. So here, around here, I crashed on the exit there once, considerably worse than what I did just then. And then heading around here, I also went off a couple of times. Coming around here, this is fairly good. This is a nice little part here. Though one time I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go really easy, and then right here, I crashed because I didn't take the corner quite the way that I should have. Coming around here, I spun out once. Coming around here, I crashed probably like 10 times because I always underestimated that corner coming up to it, because there's no railings there. There's no markings to say that that corner is going to be particularly nasty. About halfway through, I ended up putting on the mini-app because of just how frightening it was not knowing what some of these corners coming up were. Going through there, I crashed once on that corner, coming past the divider. Coming around here, I know this corner quite well, and it does actually look like a hairpin, so I always got that one right. And oh wow, it all looks like I almost crashed on that time as well. All my attempts at me doing this are all melding together in my brain that I don't know where it is that I've crashed most of the time. But now we're on to the main part that I know. This is the Devil's Playground short track. I know it quite well, so we're just going to break a little bit sooner. I know how to take this part easy. Out of all of my attempts, I never actually crashed on the short course here, because I knew it so well. I knew how to take it easy. There were a few close calls like then. When you start going a bit off the side there, the steering just becomes incredibly erratic and you just don't know what's going to happen. So you see there, usually I'm in second gear going around that corner, but I just went slow enough. The first gear was fine. I wanted it to be nice. I wanted to go through there, be careful, like, I don't know, Christian mum with her 16-year-old daughter that's like, no, I have to be very careful with you, can't let you do anything. I don't know why I use that as an example, but like that mothering of this car, I was just like, no, I want to be precious with you. I don't want you to get hurt. Oh, that's a problem that I had a bunch of times with doing this course, is for some reason on some of these corners it just sticks to the inside of the corner once you've left, and for some reason doesn't want to steer away from that. Oh god, I'd forgotten about this. A little bit of excrement had filled up my pants. It was not particularly great. Oh damn, this car, it lulls you into a false sense of security and then just pulls out a knife and murders you right in your face. You see it happening usually, and then you're like, why is this happening to me? But we're coming up to the last few corners there. I almost shit my pants going through that one as well. I was able to keep it under control, but we're out of, by this point, the Devil's Playground. Now we're on to unknown territory. I do not know this part, so I don't want that navigational map there on the side to turn off like it does sometimes. It's so scary because I really don't know this part of the map very well. You don't make it here very often. You can see the map turned off. It was such a pain in the butthole and everything. How big is this corner? How tight is this corner? I don't know. The map turned off for it on entry and mid, so I'm completely blind again. Oh my god. The fact that I was able to finish a lap is just a complete dream. I think I only ever made it up here once with this car beforehand, and I crashed on the very first corner because I didn't know what the corner was like, and then I immediately turned on the mini map, and it's good to have it, but also frightening when it just mystically turns off on its own. The turn off is about as magic as the brakes are amazing. It's baffling and bemusing how good the brakes are and how terrifying it is when the map turns off. But you can see here, I'm going fairly safely up here. There's no big drastic things taken. When map turns off, foot comes off of accelerator and onto brake. It's not pleasant, but here we are. You can see that I'm at like 7.5 minutes. We are getting very close to the end. You can see there, blue, the checkpoint up in the top left. That means that we have the finish in sights. Now, my previous laps have been pretty good, but my best so far has been a 9:56, which is just below the 10-minute mark, not particularly amazing. And here we can see that we're still in the 7-minute mark and we're coming up to the end. Now, the world record I do go into, but I could have had the world record if I was just a little less of a pussy going around this. But if I was to spend a week on this, yeah, maybe. I've actually finished a lap, which is not normal for me, actually. Usually at the last corner, I go spearing off. I am so exhausted. 50% of this video was the point up until I finished the Devil's Playground. The other 50% was me just trying to get up this hill. Jesus Christ, what is the lap record here? Oh, I am very close to the world record. I reckon 7:57, 10 seconds? I reckon if you were ballsy enough and took enough time to practice, you too could probably actually, or I could even, break that with this car. I would need to practice for like a day or two, or maybe even a week, to know exactly where the point is for every single corner, how this car is. But as it stands, that's the best I can do. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This was bonkers. And oh my god, this car is insane. How much damage did I do on the way up? Oh, you know what? I never put exhausts on. And did I lose the rear spoiler? Rear diffuser? I think I did. And then on the front, I lost the front splitter as well. This car took quite a beating going up here. There will be a link to this in the description. The stream for the previous community challenge, I'm feeling a lot better now. I will be doing that quite soon. Probably, actually, the way I'm feeling, next week. So, for now, I'll catch you guys next time. Hold the phone. Before we go, we do actually have to do a drag test in this car, because this car is insane. My god, it just did a wheelie. What the fuck? How is that even possible? Okay, and we've gone across in an 8.5. I think there's some stuff to be done here. Do I go a little bit slower off the line to not get that ripper? Yeah, once it gets up there, you've got all the downforce on the rear, but no downforce on the front, and that aerofoil is kind of working as a wing to lift me up. So I think, actually, for the first time ever, I have to accelerate a little bit slower. Alright, I think that was only 0.1 quicker. But for a car that's not meant to be a drag car to do an 8.6, that's pretty insane. And I think to do this properly, I would probably need to lose a lot of traction in the rear, a lot of aero in the front. Sorry, in the rear. And maybe have a steeper angle of attack on the front. Jesus. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.